Paulo Freire, the Brazilian educator and spokesman for the oppressed, has worked at teaching illiterate people to read and write. The educator only became successful when he realized the importance of engaging the oppressed in critical discussions of their day-to-day problems. In group discussions, the students not only learned how to read and write, but also became conscious of their own situation. By talking with one another, they realized that change is possible. By becoming conscious of their own experiences, they could begin to free themselves from oppression and take the first steps towards liberation. Returning from a crash course, young literacy teachers, the sons and daughters of members of the agricultural cooperative Sebastian Barranca, come to meet the chairman of the cooperative. We are in Santiago, near Ica, approximately 300 kilometers south of Lima in Peru. They call the chairman Don Lolo. Don, the old form of address for the master of the serfs, is still indelibly imprinted on their minds. They report to Don Lolo that they are preparing to teach the remaining 70 illiterate among the 250 members of the co-op how to read and write within the next few months. But before beginning work, they have to ask the members about their most pressing problems in order to learn something about their living conditions. Then they intend to find the key words with which they can communicate with members directly. By discovering their interests in this way, the prospective teachers will also be able to make learning to read and write enjoyable.
Hace 10 años, los fundos estaban en manos de los terratenientes, a quien se le llamaba patrones.
We used to have just large estates here which belonged to the landowners or patrons. They used to treat us, the landless laborers, almost like slaves. After the Peruvian Revolution, the military government introduced land reform. The land was expropriated and given to the peasants.
Los pasó a los campesinos. Esto todavía es el recuerdo que nos han dejado los ex hacendados y hasta ahora no podemos salir de esta situación. Porque todo depende de la situación económica.
Don Lolo tells them that by asking the workers in Santiago about their greatest worries, they will recognize one of the biggest problems, the living conditions inherited from days of the patron.
El préstamo que nos da el Banco Agrario es exclusivamente para la vida agrícola y no lo podemos tocar.
The cooperative has no money for building new houses, and the state cannot or will not invest in this area. Only 2 or 3 houses can be built in a year. Don't the workers have any initiative or interest in solving their housing problems? Do they expect everything to come from their leader just as they used to expect everything from the landowner? Unfortunately, they expect to be given ready-made houses. Until now, there has been hardly a sign of their own initiative. 2 teachers, Pacha and Lucho, try to find out how things really are. Their first question is, which problem here concerns you most? We need a house in which we can live properly. What about this house? The one where we are living is old and almost falling to pieces. You want a new house then? Yes. And who is supposed to give you the house? The president we work for, of course. Our house is much too small. We are completely cramped in our house. We don't even have electricity. We need proper living quarters. There's not enough space. We are a big family. How many children do you have? I have 7 children.
Siete hijos. Pedir presión a la cooperativa, el presidente tiene que hacer, pues para eso nosotros tenemos presidente para que...
I intend to demand a better house from the cooperative. The president must give it to us because we work for him. Most of them still expect the president to give them a house just like they used to expect it from the patron. But now they are members of the cooperative and therefore part owners of the land, says Lucho. They should be more active in getting decent houses as soon as possible, Pacha says. She had hoped that the mentality of the workers would change with the land reform, but that hasn't happened yet. My special problem is that I can't go out to work anymore. I have a 3-month-old child. Sometimes I left the child alone and he got ill, so I can't go to work anymore until they give us the day kindergartens they have promised us. I want to work and I need to work. I'm an unmarried mother and have 4 children. I can only feed my children if I can work. We don't have electricity. Haven't you ever had electric lights? Oh yes, when we used to work for the patron. Now we don't have electricity anymore. We should work together much more intensely in the cooperative, but we are too badly educated. We could never check up on our leader. We don't understand the laws of the government. We have to learn much more. Pacha and Lucho feel that the inequality between the members of the cooperative and the migrant workers who come from the Sierra for the cotton harvest is a fundamental problem. They want to know to what extent the migrant workers are at a disadvantage. Are there really any differences? The co-op members have, after all, many more rights. They can get cheap food from the cooperative, and they have social security and holidays. We have none of that. But when we used to work for the patron, he used to drive us much harder. Now it's a bit better. There is better atmosphere. I earn a bit more than before, and my wife can also work with me. During the cotton harvest, the members get a fixed daily wage, but we're paid according to the weight of the cotton we have picked. We have to work until evening to earn as much as the members who finish at midday.